Hello, Robert. My name is Kei Iwanami. It's very nice to meet you.
Pleasure to meet you, Kei.
I'm an individual investor in Japan. So today I'd like to ask you what is the radical investment style? So in Japan, it's really popular as invest like Jeremy Siegel style. Do you know Jeremy Siegel?
Yes, I'm familiar with Jeremy Siegel.
And we invest. Jeremy Siegel's style is to buy and hold U.S. stocks for long term and reinvest the dividends again and again, and that'll be the best way to invest in. It outperforms S&P 500s for long term, as he says. So do you think is it radical choice or not?
So you can do some editing. My name's Rob Sigmund, and I've been in the financial planning business for the past 25 plus years. It's been a lifelong career for me. I love it. I love to serve others. So I'm familiar with many different investment styles, and I've seen investment styles come and go. Somebody like Jeremy Siegel that takes the approach of buy and hold and to favor stocks over bonds or cash is something that I agree with philosophically.
Okay.
Now, I think Jeremy Siegel's main point from my perspective is that stocks will always outperform bonds or treasuries or real estate over the long haul, but only if you buy them and you hold them and you reinvest dividends. Well, you can reinvest dividends or not. That all depends on your situation. But if you hold stocks, a basket of diversified stocks for a 10, 20, 30-year period, historically speaking, you'll do much better in terms of growing your money or growing your wealth than if you were to hold a more short-term safe asset like cash or bonds or CDs. So now that's a Jeremy Siegel way. Now I'd like to just, some things that I've seen over the years is investors tend to get excited. And investors get excited when the media talks about technology or emerging markets or real estate or gold or Bitcoin or whatever it is. The media is always looking for a story, and the media does disservice to many, many investors. So I've seen investors get excited in the tech bubble and lose 80, 90% of their value. I've seen investors get excited in Bitcoin, and I think the stories will start to come out that folks have probably lost, 20 to 50% of their value. So I believe the best approach is to diversify, and to diversify based on your appetite for risk.
Appetite for risk.
I believe that short-term pain, volatility, is necessary for long-term gain.
Okay.
So in stocks for the long run only works if you have a long time horizon. And you're also willing to stomach the ups and the downs, the fears and the euphorias that come along with the investment markets. So when I say to diversify, I don't necessarily believe that you can diversify enough with individual stocks. So for the clients that I work with, I use mutual funds and I use ETFs. And the reason I use mutual funds and I use ETFs is because I want to focus on the asset class, like U.S. large cap stocks or U.S. small company
small
value.
Cap, middle cap, and maybe real estate REIT.
So like real assets. That's correct. So I don't necessarily like commodities very much, because commodities, kind of like gold or other futures,
soybeans and gases,
they don't create dividends. They don't have really intelligent people working for them.
Totally agree with that.
To sort of grow revenues and grow profits. So when I talk about real assets, yes, I'm talking about real estate or infrastructure, those types of things that are revenue producing tangible assets. So, I believe in diversifying across the entire globe, buying not only, U.S. stocks as a U.S. investor. I believe in buying stocks in foreign countries.
For example, like VT, Vanguard Total World Stock. It's very popular ETF in Japan. It's diversified for every country's.
Okay.
Every country's stocks.
So like the total stock market, world total stock market index fund would be a good approach. Because again, you're getting broad diversification across company size and country of origin. Now, for my clients, for example, who are U.S. investors, we have a strong bias towards the U.S.
Strong bias.
Bias, meaning if 45% of the world, or if 45% of the investable world is U.S. stocks, my clients may hold 60 or 70% in U.S. So I call that a home country bias. Because my clients are going to retire and they're going to use their money in the U.S. So instead of buying what the world looks like, 45% U.S., 45%, developed markets like Japan and Europe and Britain, and maybe,
also 10 emerging markets,
and then maybe
frontiers.
I say like 10 or 20% is, I think, where the emerging markets are today.
Okay.
But that's a very risky part of the market.
Yeah. I understand.
So my clients may only have 7 or 8% of their portfolio in emerging markets because it's very risky. So broad diversification and diversify within those asset classes and keep your costs low. Funds like ETFs or Vanguard funds. I really like DFA or Dimensional Fund Advisors. Eugene Fama and Ken French have a lot of the academic work behind the DFA funds. But then once you invest and you diversify, you can't just close your eyes and come back 20 years. You have to sort of rebalance.
Okay.
Because I got my little hand puppets, right? So if these are stocks and these are bonds, and stocks do very well, typically people like to buy more because they've done well. I say sell a little bit of these and buy some of the bonds, right? So you're always in balance. And then when you have a bad year, stocks go down and bonds maybe go up a little bit. Now you can sell some of those bonds and buy some of the stocks. So sell.
Like it's just happening just these days,
Yeah, we call that rebalancing. So if this is your portfolio and it gets out of whack because the markets are doing different things, you always want to bring it back. But if you think about my hand gestures, right? You've got stocks doing well, bonds, So take some profits. And you take those profits and you buy back. Now, if stocks go down, you sell some of your bonds, and what are you doing? You're selling high and you're buying low. So that rebalancing that happens once a year, twice a year, the key on rebalancing is to be consistent. So start with structure, how much in the U.S., how much outside the U.S., how much in stocks, how much in bonds, and then say, this is my structure and this is how I'm going to fill this structure. And when I say structure, I really mean a diversified portfolio. Then I'm going to set a reminder on my phone or on my computer to say, look at this every 6 months and bring it back to that structure. No matter what happened. If emerging markets are up 100%, don't get excited and say, let's put more there.
Just calm down.
Calm down and sell some of that.
Okay.
Take profits. Because if emerging markets is up 100%, maybe
it falls in again terribly.
It could definitely fall. We call that like a mean reversion.
Mean reversion.
Yes. So like if say emerging markets is up 100%, maybe real estate is down 10%. Well, naturally as humans, we say, oh, I don't want any real estate. It's poor performer. I want emerging markets. So most people sell their real estate because it's down and they buy the thing that's served them well. But I call that chasing returns.
Chasing returns.
Because you're buying what already has launched into space. Right? The tech boom, the technology boom in the late 90s, it was like a rocket ship. And if you weren't on that rocket ship already, it was dangerous to try to hop on after it launched.
Before would be fine, but after would be more dangerous.
That's right, because it's already done so well. It's like buying Apple and Facebook and Amazon today.
FANG, yes.
FANG, yes. It's very risky because all of those excess returns have already been realized. Again, who knows what the future holds? I don't know what the market's going to do on Monday, but I do know that over the next 10, 20 years, back to Jeremy Siegel, over the next 10, 20 years, I will do better investing in stocks on a global basis than I will hiding in cash or in bonds or in treasuries.
Okay.
So, what else?
Yeah, it's really...
Do you want me to talk a little bit about what I do?
Yes, please.
So, what I do as a profession in the investment world is, I like to say my clients are more than their portfolios.
Okay.
So I help clients with that structuring, with picking the investments, and with rebalancing.
Okay.
I do all of that for them because we as humans are tied to our money with emotions. It's very difficult to make those decisions, like selling some of those emerging markets when they're up 100% and buying the loser that was down 10%.
Sometimes it's really exhausting for individual investors to decide everything.
Yes.
Yeah.
So I help them with the investment side, but more importantly, I help them with the financial planning side of things.
Okay.
So my clients are families, they have children, they have goals, they want to send their children to college. So I help them create college plans so they're saving enough to pay for college. My clients drive cars, they have homes, so they have needs, and they work, so they have needs to protect their income, protect their assets with insurance. I don't sell the insurance, but I know the insurance products, I know the insurance market, so I give my clients advice on what insurance policies they should buy and what coverage they should buy, so that they don't overpay for insurance, or maybe they don't have insurance. I help my clients who want to give back to charity. I help my clients who want to save on taxes, because there are things you can do in the U.S. And the tax code is always changing.
Okay.
So my team and I, we stay up on the tax code. We don't prepare the taxes and send in the forms, but we look at our client situation and we say, well, we know your situation, we know the tax law, this is what we can do to save you and your family taxes. Maybe not only you and your family, but your kids and your grandkids. We call that multi-generational planning.
Multi-generation planning.
Yes. So oftentimes, my clients will be the grandparents, and then their children will be clients, and then their grandchildren become clients.
Not only exact customers, but also customers' families are so very important.
That's correct.
Okay.
Yes. And that's why we do what we do, is to protect our clients and to protect our clients' families.
Protect.
Meet their goals and create a plan, and the plan gets you to those goals, but there's lots of unknowns and surprises and changes of jobs and deaths and car accidents along the way. So we make sure that all of those pitfalls along the way, the plan accounts for those.
Okay.
So we call it the holistic picture. Our clients are more than their portfolio, because there's so much more to financial independence and being wealthy than just putting money in the stock market and investing it wisely.
Okay, it sounds very meaningful for you.
Absolutely.
Yeah, it's great.
Do you have other questions, Kei?
I think not.
Okay. If you come up with a question, we can record again while we're driving.
Okay.
Thank
you very much.
Oh, you're very welcome, Kei. It's been a pleasure talking with you.
Yeah, me too.
Thank you.